Hey, welcome back for another Tutorial Tuesday. This is Melissa Marty from To Be Remembered Designs on Facebook. Thanks for finding me here. And this week I'm going to teach you how to really use some unique fonts and get the most out of it so that you can have a really unique look to your scrapbook layouts. So if you haven't gone and looked for new fonts in a while, I would recommend you do so. There are a ton of different fonts out there that you can play around with and have fun with. And my favorite spot to start when I'm looking for a new font is dafont.com. So you can go ahead and go there. And today the fonts that I'm going to show you and work with, one of them is a decorative font. So if you go here to the red box, you can click on decorative. And we're going to play around with this A Little Swag font. So you can download that right here for free if you would like to play along with me. And then the other fonts that I'm going to show you, I have one script font and one from the Dingbat menu. So you can go ahead and look around those. There are also tons of great typewriter fonts, handwritten fonts, trash fonts, which are kind of grungy looking, kind of have a neat look to them. But you can go through and find a whole bunch of different fonts that you can use to really make your pages look different. I have this traveling typewriter font I love. The 1942 report font is great. So you can go here and try to find some different fonts. Spice up your pages a little bit. Once you have your fonts downloaded, and all it takes to download them is just clicking on this download button, they will go to your download folder. So if you go to your download folder, you will see your font zipped up. So I downloaded this butterfly font today. So if you right click it, you can say extract all and then extract. I already have done it, but I'll do it again. And then once you have it extracted, you can go ahead and delete that zipped up file and then come up here and you should see it and it will be unzipped. If you double click on it, and here you'll have your font file, and if you right click on that, you can just say install and it will install it onto your computer for you. Once you've installed it, it will be available for you to use in any of your programs. Not just your scrapbooking program, but also like Microsoft Word or Publisher or PowerPoint, anything like that that you would use a font in, you should be able to have access to this font. So you would click install. I've already installed it, so I'm not going to do it again. Once you have it installed, you need to make sure that you have your program closed and then reopen it in order for your font list to refresh itself. So if you have your program open when you're doing this, when you're installing your fonts, you need to close your program and then reopen it. So I've already done all that. And I have a new page started so I can show you how to use some of these fonts. First I'm going to start with a script font that I have on my computer called Before the Rain. That's one I've downloaded for free. So I inserted a text box. I'm going to grab that Before the Rain font, make it nice and big so that you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to type in the word celebrate. So here's my font. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so that little yellow triangle goes away. And that looks great just how it is. So this is Before the Rain is the name of this font. If you like it, you can go grab it too. But also, along with the Before the Rain font file, there's also one called Before the Rain Swatches. And that font, I'll make a new one so you can see. Before the Rain Swatches. And I just have the free version of it, so I don't have access to all the different swatches. But you can see what they look like. So there's the swatch I get if I type in an A. And there's the swatch I get for a B, and a C, and a D, and an E, and an F, and so on and so forth. And so you have all different swatches that you can add to your title up here to make it look really unique. I played around with them a little bit already, so I know that I want the one that comes with an E. So I'm switching now to Before the Rain Swatches, and I'm going to type on an E. And instead of an E, it looks like this. You can change it to an A, and that would be that. Or a B looks like that. You can go ahead and play with all the different swatches. There's a G, that one's kind of nice. H, I, J, they're all just slightly different. There's a K, and an L, and an M is under there, and an N. I'll go back to my E because I know I like that. So that's a nice title. I'm going to delete this other file here. It looks great. And then you can go ahead and move it around your page. It would be great on a holiday page or a birthday page or anything like that that you're celebrating something. So make sure that when you download your script fonts or your calligraphy fonts, you pay attention to these extra swatches because they are really extra touches that really add a little punch to your title. Next, I want to show you that KG, a little swag font that I showed you on the DeFont site. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. I have it downloaded already. Let me find it. KG, so it's some of the K's. And this process is the same no matter what program you're using. So if you're a Photoshop user, you can still benefit from watching this video. And you can go ahead and type in whatever you want your flags to say. Now, along with this font, when you unzip that folder, there's also a PDF file in there that tells you exactly how to use the font. And it tells you that capital letters will give you longer flags and lowercase letters give you short flags. So here I typed in a capital C, lowercase e, capital L, lowercase e, capital B, lowercase r, and so on and so forth. And I'm going to go ahead and make it even bigger still. Okay, and we'll center it even. And there's my flag. Now we can do a lot to this. Along with the font, we can add in some stitching on the top. We can add in a string on the bottom. We can fill these flags with different colors or different papers. You can really make it look unique and look like something that is meant to be on your layout. So if you wanted to change the color, you can do that simply by changing the color of your font. That's a quick and easy way to do it. If you want a different look still, you can even fill these with paper. You just have to flatten it first. So before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and get everything how I want it. So I'm going to copy this layer and paste it because I want it to be the same size and the same font still. And if you want to have solid flags in that PDF file that she includes, the creator tells you how to do that is with those triangle brackets. So I did that, and I'm going to go ahead and fill this with a different color. Maybe we'll do like a dark gray. And then I can move this underneath my blue flags, and it will look kind of like a little shadow. Okay, I'm going to paste again so I have another copy that's the same size and the same font. And this, to get stitching, you use the % key. So just make sure that you type in 9% keys because there are 9 letters in my word. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it defaults to that blue because that's what I used before, so I'm going to go back and get the gray instead. And then I can lay that on top of my flags. I'm going to paste again so I have another layer here. And the parenthesis key will give you that cool little swirl, and the underscores, if you type in 9, will give you a long enough string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then the other parenthesis key for the other swirl. I need to make this longer so it's all on the same line here. And I'm going to grab that dark gray again. And now I can put this right underneath my flag layers. And I have a neat flag. You can even go farther and fill these flags in with different colors, different papers individually. To do that, first you'd have to flatten your layer. Okay, I have it flattened. And now you can fill it with whatever paper you'd like. So if I want to fill it like with this red paper, I could say fill that selected shape because I have it selected over here. And it will fill it with the red. I can fill it with maybe a brighter color will help see a little bit better. So that looks really nice like that. Otherwise, if you wanted each flag to be different, you can do that too. So you would go to your cut and fill menu with that yellow flag layer selected, and you can pick a rectangle. So you can just, go over that first one, keep both sections, and it will cut your C flag away from the rest of them. So now you can take your C flag and fill that separately with a different color or a different paper or anything you'd like. So I can fill it with that blue. And then I could go back to my yellows again, pick my square again, and you can go ahead and keep both sections, and then your E will be separated too. And you can fill your E with a different color or a different paper, whatever you'd like. And you can go on and do all the rest of them so that everything's different. A neat little trick with this cool font, so you can make your own flags when you don't have one that you want to use in your kit that you're using. So here's your scripty calligraphy font, remembering about the swatches, these neat little flag fonts that you can use, and there were more of those on the font site. If you go to the decorative styles, they have this KG Royals one that's a little pennant banners. You can use that. You can go through and look. I mean, there are 113 pages of fonts in the decorative style that you can go through and try to find other ones that would work well for what you're looking for. The last thing I want to show you is how to use some of the dingbat fonts. So I'm going to insert a new text box. Great. And I'm going to pick that butterfly font that I showed you how to unzip. Butterflies, here they are. I'm going to make it nice and big so I can see what I'm looking for. And you can see that's an A, that's a B, that's a C, that's a D. If I do capital letters, I get empty ones that I'm going to be able to fill in and make look really cool. So you can go through and type in random capital letters until you find the one you want. Or if you want, you can, I like that one, I just had that one, is really cool. Or if you want, you can go to your control panel. And I never remember where fonts are, so I usually just type in fonts and it will find it for me. Preview your fonts. So if I go here and find my butterfly font in here, and I click on it, double click on it, it will show me all the different butterflies available here. And you can print this sheet out if you want so that you can see. And you always remember that the lowercase letters are the solid black ones, the uppercase letters are ones that you can fill in, and then I would assume these are the numbers and symbols, are the black circles with the butterflies in the middle. That way you can remember and you can look through and say this is a capital A, capital B, capital C, capital D, and so on, so that you don't have to sit and go through and guess. You can just look and see which ones you like right away. But I like this one, so we're going to stick with this. I'm going to make it even bigger. And this is really great if you need a butterfly for, a little girl layout or whatever, and you don't have the perfect butterfly in your stash, or you have some papers in your kit that you really want to use, but you don't have any butterflies that you can fill with those papers and still keep looking good. So I'm going to zoom in on this butterfly so that you can see what I'm working on here. And I'm going to go ahead and flatten it. So I'm right clicking and saying flatten. And then you can insert, and I've showed you how to do this before, but I'll show you again. We're going to insert an empty frame that's about the same size and put it underneath your butterfly. I'm going to give this empty frame a bright color. So from the cut and fill menu, I'm going to go and just pick a bright color to color it in so I can cut things out. And then I'm going to flatten them together. So I'm going to hold down Shift and select them both, right click and flatten. Now at this point I'm going to use my wand tool to cut some things out. So first, I don't need all this green around the outside, so I'm going to click that and say cut, and it will cut that green off for me. So now I just have the butterfly. And now I can cut these individual sections out and fill them with a paper of my choice. So let me go find some little girly looking colors. Okay, I have little girly papers here now. Find some bright colors. Let's see. We're going to do that April Lisa kit, the giggles. Those are bright colors, nice bright colors. Okay, so now back to my wand tool. I'm going to go ahead and click any pieces that I want to be the same color or the same paper. So this outside of this butterfly wing, and then I'm going to hold down shift and pick the other one too. And then I can say keep both areas, and it will cut those two separate from the rest of the butterfly. I can come back to the butterfly and cut out some more with my wand tool. Remember, you can hold down shift to pick different sections. Maybe I'll just do every other the same here. Keep both areas. Okay, now we're going to go get the other ones. So this one and this one. Keep both areas. Maybe we'll do all the dots the same. So I'll grab this and I'll get these dots. Maybe we'll give that the same as his body. Keep both areas, and you can play around with this however you want. You can be as specific, or you can just make them all the same color. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to cut out his body here and his head, and maybe even his little antenna spots. We're going to keep both areas, and then I just have his eye is going to be green still, so go ahead and grab his eye and keep both areas. And so now you have his black outline, and all his inside pieces are ready for you to fill in with different colors. So I can take his eye and I'm just going to color that white. Alright, and now this is his head and his little body there. So we can make those, I'm just going to color in random colors. We'll make that blue. This is his body and his spots. Let's give those like a bright blue. Here are some of the stripes. Kind of silly looking, but you'll get the idea. Let's see, let's make that this. And we'll go ahead and give this some little dots. Maybe we'll give these, his outside of his wings, some dots. Alright, and then I don't like these stripes in here, so I'm going to change those up. Make those yellow. And you can see all of my butterflies filled in now. This ended up down there somehow. Let me move that back up. And so now, once you're happy, you can go ahead and flatten everything back together. Or at least group it together so that you can resize it and move it. But once you flatten it, you can see right now you have some little white outlines around. Those will go away once you flatten it. So go ahead and flatten, and it will just look a lot smoother. And then if you want to even take it a step farther, you can go to your format menu and go to filters, and you can even give it like a 3D edge so it looks more like an actual embellishment that you purchased instead of just something that you made yourself. So if you update your large preview, you can kind of see how it's going, but you can increase the width of your 3D edge. Then you can add a shadow and move it around on your layout wherever you want. You can resize it at this point, you can rotate it, do whatever you want to it. But that's a neat way to use a font, a free font at that, to really make something that would be special and unique for your page. Exactly what you need. So go ahead and give it a try. Go grab some dingbat fonts and some decorative fonts and play around with them, and I'd love to see what you come up with. Thanks a lot for joining me, and I'll see you next Tuesday.